young girls out there, the little kids, just like to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. The committees that I'm serving on are the Lands Department, KRI, BCAP, Economic Development, and I'm also sitting on the Housing Committee. I'd just like to just kind of backtrack to some of the comments that were made earlier. The orientation that we've kind of introduced. We went to most of the departments and entities, and we also included the school children. We paid a visit to each of the schools, and I think, like, for a lot of the comments, you know, it was a team effort. We all decided that we all had our goals. They were pretty much all in common. So this is like one of the strategies that we've taken, and just a bit more on the communications. That's something that we really identified right from the get-go, informing the people as to what's happening in the council. The transparency as one of the bills that are coming through. I'd just like to briefly talk about one of the orientations that we went to was the one in Lethbridge. We had the opportunity to meet with the housing departments, Treaty 7, Opagatsan, Sikokito Hardship Center. We've taken the time to go listen to their concerns. So I guess by saying that, it's like we're not excluding our people that are living off reserve. We're going to include them in our discussions. Also, as what I really noticed in the council chambers, we really taken an approach to work together as a team, and it's working really great so far. Like just getting back to my format was part of the economic development was the small business and also the big business to try keep the dollars that are flowing off the reserve, to retain them here on the tribe so that we could further advance in our economy. So these are just some of the few issues that I brought to the table, and I really enjoy what I'm doing. It's not an easy task being on council, but it's certainly a challenge, and I just like to let the people know that I really enjoy what I'm doing. I go to work with an open heart and an open mind. There are challenges, like I say, but we just work together as a team to overcome like what we are faced with the federal government and all the other things that follow. We just like to keep the people updated as to what we're doing and continue listening to your concerns and move forward together.
Ogamog Billy Wadsworth, Hansta Iskuto.
Okay. Ito na simit ko. Stony go Iskuto. I just thought I would speak a little bit of Blackfoot because I just speak a little bit of Blackfoot, but we don't just a beat. See, or you can say, "Hey, toch to me." I understand. You know, I can understand Blackfoot. I grew up with my grandma Apoyaki in the house. Some of you might remember my great-grandmother Apoyaki. Geez, you know, when we first got elected in, I'll give you kind of an explanation, a little bit of background about how I felt when I first got elected in. I didn't really realize it's such a big job. There's so many departments. 42 departments and entities all mixed in, and before I ran for council, or while I was trying to figure out what my platform would be, I was thinking about the notion of sovereign. And sovereign means a country basically that can govern itself, has systems in place that can run that given country. And I realized that we don't have to look to Napi systems. We have had for thousands of years a governing structure that worked for us. And so when I through school, when I went to school, I was trying to figure that out and learned it. I see some fellow students here, some University of Lethbridge graduates here, that were even in some of my classes, in my Native American Studies classes, and during that time I started to analyze and try to figure out what a governance structure would look like for our people. And it's pretty easy. The people are the bosses. Everybody here, everybody on the reserve, those are the bosses, and they elect us to represent them. So I always try to have that in mind when anything gets put in front of me. My position here is that the people elected me in to do a job and to keep that in consideration, that I gotta try and speak for all people, to be equal, And so, but there's big things to think about. The government's trying to implement these bills. It's called unilateral legislation, and what this unilateral legislation means is that the bills, they're not directly saying they're going to affect our rights, our treaty rights, and the treaty that we did with the Crown many years ago. That they're saying that the bills aren't going to affect what they are, and so the fight is that they didn't consult with us. Anytime they're going to affect our Indian Act or our rights, they got to consult with us, right? So that's the argument, And how do we fight that? There's politicians, Indian politicians across Canada that have been trying to figure it out. It's a tough one. We got lawyers, Indian lawyers, and people that have been in this game of politics for a long time, and it's really difficult to figure out how do we fight these bills. And thankfully, I don't know if everybody knows, but thankfully we sent notice to the government of Canada. We let them know that we're not going to recognize on our lands any of those bills in our territory. So after that, a number of tribes, I don't know if you know that too, a number of tribes kind of followed us. They kind of said, we're not going to acknowledge any of these bills that are coming up. So I guess that's one way to kind of assert our sovereign stance on these things. Another one is to go to court. And it was mentioned earlier that there's a couple of tribes that are taking the government to court. And, that's a possibility. We're watching, we're looking at that. So I don't know, there's just so much to talk about and so much to say in regards to this job. It's a big job, and sometimes you guys ever watch the movie Matrix? That guy has the green pill, and there's what's the other color? Blue, and he just the guy tells him, well, choose what do you want to do? He takes the pill and he enters into the Matrix. So sometimes I feel like, I wonder if I did to make the right choice. This is really tough, but I'm here to do the best I can possibly do for our people and utilize the education that I got for us, Istungnan, not only for right now, generations to come. That's what I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just trying my best. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Gamo mo ka Kinolan Little Bear, kay Skach Boys.
Okay, thanks, Clyde. Okay, next up, kita kena semua cuba bawa Anastoko kay Skach Boys. Just like to thank everybody for showing up today. such a short notice. Hello to individuals around the room. Arnell over there has been active with Idle No More. Thanks to Dominic back there, who's been giving us words of wisdom. We've been Laverne and Moses Lake, Bookie to Philip, Bill, Clarence, Andy, Levi, David, Norbert, and Mr. Hunt here, and everybody. Good to see everybody. Billy Akanyo Beaks and when we first got in because of what transpired. We're ready to get to work on our reserve, and these omnibus bills came in, and as you know, the Idle No More, what happened, and we had to fight it somehow, some way, but things are slowly working out with our elders' prayers and the other nations across Canada. But as Kistutnon, we've always taken that leadership role. The other tribes wait for us to make a decision. They want to hear how we're gonna tackle those issues, and in our meetings we had to really sit down and analyze everything. I got placed on the social pillar, so that is the Health Department, Children's Services, FCSS, Public Works, Social Development, and some additional, got onto the Acres Trustee, as well as sitting on Finance. And Al's not here today. We really are gun-ho. We're really optimistic about our communities. There's a lot of stuff are sick, so I'll just cat what everybody else has said. But right out here, we could use a playground because everybody has to go over to that one, Safe Boy, and sometimes the older crowds go there and leave some stuff. But simple community beautification program, tree planting, and this morning we were sitting with listening to the Kainai Energy, Napi going to enter into this program with that drilling rig, and that Napi going when he helped out the Southern Ute from I think it was down south in Utah, the Northern Ute. It's going to see where they're settled. There was not much cultivation land or anything, but there was minerals underneath. So that company was supposed to loan them the money because the federal government wouldn't help them out. So at the end, when they were done, their billions of dollars they invested for the oil. And to this day, they're helping their elders retire. They get 50,000, and help out at the peaks. And they had to make their own hospitals, schools, everything. And I was just saying, we got to start searching for our own self-sufficiency with economic development. One of the things we're looking at with the trustees is Acres Trust. We had 444 acres we were awarded with hard work from tribal government, and Dorothy's been on there, a couple of our senior counselors, and so we put that 400 acres on that end of the reserve, north end. So we still have to deal with 5 acres, has to be put in reserve status, and we're still doing preliminary stuff. But the possibility of even just to think, I'm not going to overstep anything, but just think of some economic stuff, notwithstanding BTAT. But I think last council, they've done a good job up to here and left us with lots to run with. And I know just one thing, cat out of the bag, is that the Stampede came to discussions, and they were wanting to sell their casino to us guys. And at the end, when they found out how much casino money's bringing in for Grey Eagle and River Cree, they said, well, maybe we don't want to sell you all of it. Well, maybe take a look at it, 51% or something like that. But something to think about in the future, how we have to think about how we could create jobs, get money, Because right now, I sit on health department and trying to see go like our elderly continuing care. We only have one doctor, so we gotta really look at bringing another doctor as soon as possible, opening up some more beds. Because right now we have a waiting list for our elders. I just found out like we're gonna have to start paying for. They're making them pay $1,000, a month, and I understand like it's expensive out there, but my job as a politician, or for the next 4 years, and I think that's it for me. But to look and see where we can get funding for our elders, if not, create some funding for ourselves and for our kids. And I think with our community and all of our leadership here, we can really work together and not be divided by the pillars, but see what's going on in each other pillar so that we can work together collectively for the benefit of Inukshiwoktapiks and Pukags. So with that, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming and just to thank you.